Hey guys, welcome back. And look, I found a way to film hands-free outside. How exciting! It is not exactly the best time of day. That light behind me is really weird, but I had to work late today and it's a Tuesday and it's the second last day of March, so how else am I supposed to get a March wrap-up done in time? Anyway, as I said, end of March, which means the end of Tropical Readathon, which means we're due for a wrap-up. So I haven't got any books out here with me. I'm just gonna chuck them all up there magically as I talk about them. Didn't get as much reading done in the second half of the month as I did in the first half of the month, but that's okay. So you can watch my last video, ta-da, for my review / rambling on The Girl in the Sunflower Dress by Katie Monterano and Looking for Alibrandi by Milena Marchetta and what was the other one? The Christmas Hirelings by Elizabeth Mary Braddon. Since then, at the end of that video, I said that I was currently reading The Old Lie by Claire G. Coleman and Bound in Silver by Celine Jean-Jean. So I finished Bound in Silver. I don't want to say that I DNF'd The Old Lie because I fully intend to read it at some point and go back to it. It just wasn't working for me right now. So I've put that on hold, but I did finish Bound in Silver. I got a review up for that because I'm part of Celine's street team and review team. And basically, like, one sentence review is I definitely liked it better than the first book in the series. It's not that the first book was bad, but it felt like a real series opener. There was lots of introductions to various characters and to the world, and then it was at the end of the first book that I was like, the plot is getting going now. And actually for a while for Bound in Silver, I was like, is this connected to the plot that was set up at the end of that? But it was clever, and I quite liked it. So I'm not sure whether it's a trilogy or whether she's planning for it to be longer. I already have an arc of the third book ready to go. So I'm looking forward to reading that and seeing how things are panning out. And then after I read that, since then I have been reading another arc called The Firekeeper's Daughter. And this is really terrible. I cannot remember the author's name at all, so I'll put it along there for you when I look it up. The Firekeeper's Daughter is by, the author is Native American, I can tell you that off the top of my head. And this is a coming of age story about a young biracial teenager. It's set in 2004, randomly. There's like random references to things that happened in 2004, and apart from that, it just feels like any other contemporary. But anyway, she's just finished school. Family things have meant she's put like college and stuff like that on hold. She is helping the FBI. She's gone undercover with the FBI to help them solve some drug related things and some deaths and this sort of thing. But she's also learning about her own community and more about her spirituality and where she fits in at the same time. And I have to admit, it's been a pretty slow read. I've really enjoyed learning the cultural stuff, but the actual plot is slow, and I don't really feel like the stakes are high. I'm never sort of like, oh my god, turning the pages. But I am nearly finished that. I'm hoping I think my Kindle says I've got like an hour and a half left. I'm at like the 70% mark. So I'm definitely hoping to have that finished by tomorrow night. I'm filming this on March 30th. So hoping that that will be done by tomorrow night and I can count it towards the readathon. I'll probably count it towards a coming of age story, which reminds me, that's another book that I was reading but have put on hold, and that's why I didn't get too much finished. I was trying to read The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. It's not really doing it for me that much. I don't know. Again, I'll finish it, but like it might take me a little while. And I don't know, it'll just be when I'm in the mood to read a bit. So we'll see. I did say in my TBR video for this readathon that I wasn't sure if I would like The Outsiders, and that's definitely coming to pass. The last thing that I finished this month was another audiobook, So I re-downloaded Libby, the Overdrive app, after a long time of not using that, and I discovered that my library now has all the Chronicles of Narnia books available as audiobooks through Libby and through Overdrive. So I have a confession: I've never read the Chronicles of Narnia in full. I may have read The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe as a kid, but if I did, then it was the only one. And then a few years ago, I started listening to the audiobooks, but I could only get a couple of them. So I listened to The Magician's Nephew, and then I reread The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe while I was at home over Christmas. And then I sort of ground to a halt because they didn't have the other, I couldn't track down the other audiobooks, only like the BBC radio drama versions, which were on Libby at the time. But now all the others are available too. So I finished The Horse and His Boy, which was completely new to me. I had never picked it up at all before, and look, it was fine. Going by the reviews on Goodreads, it does seem like most people think it's one of the weaker books in the series. So I wasn't really surprised. I gave it 3 stars. It was alright. It was kind of cool to see the Pevensie kids as the kings and queens of Narnia, although I did pick up on an inconsistency that there was like a thing where it said that Lucy was recounting the story of how they like found the wardrobe and all that sort of stuff, but at the end of The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, it's obviously clear that they have forgotten how they found Narnia. And like they're like, what is this weird lamppost thing? Which kind of contradicts Lucy as an adult in Narnia recounting the story of how they found Narnia. But anyway, that's fine. It's fine. So yeah, now I've started Prince Caspian. I'm only a few chapters into that. Won't be finishing that before April, but that's fine. I'm just going to keep working through the rest of the books as I go, which is fun. Hello from Editing Land. So, last night I started editing this video and I went into Goodreads to get the book covers to insert, as I've been doing, and I realised that not only did I forget one of the books I've read this month, but I forgot my favourite of the books that I read this month, like a fool. That book was The Grandest Bookshop in the World by Amelia Mellor, which is a middle grade magical realism / historical fantasy. It's set in a place that really existed, which was called Cole's Book Arcade, and it was owned by Edward William Cole in the second half of the 19th century and the early 20th century in Melbourne, Australia. And it was this massive, it was a book arcade, but it also had like a tea shop and a lolly shop and a gift arcade, and it sounds incredible. Look it up. It looks amazing. So the book is set there, but it's set in a slightly alternate universe where some people have certain magical powers, and it is basically the children of E.W. Cole have to solve these riddles and puzzles put to them by a magician called the Obscurosmith, or else their family is going to lose the arcade and they are also going to lose any memories that they ever had of the arcade. And it was just this perfect blend of like lovely history and wonderful descriptions, and the magic was really simple, but it had a lot of scope, so Amelia Mellor could kind of make it do whatever she needed it to do, which worked really well, and it was just really lovely and whimsical. I was getting real like vibes of Nevermore by Jessica Townsend. So I just really enjoyed it, and it was really lovely, and like I got to the end and I was like, oh yes, over the door. And yeah, you should read that one. It's lovely. I was gonna talk in this video about a new monthly reading challenge that I'm gonna set myself, and I'm gonna keep, like, my monthly videos will be about that challenge. But I am being eaten by mosquitoes out here because it's getting, like, it's duskish, twilightish. You can't tell, it just looks glary behind me, but it is definitely that time of the night. And yeah, I'm like fidgeting all over because I'm itchy. The writing challenge video can be a new one at the beginning of April, and I'm gonna go inside and get away from the mozzies. I will see you next time. Bye for now.